Be silent, or let thy words be worth more than silence. Educate the children, and it won't be necessary to punish the men. Do not say a little in many words, but a great deal in few. There is geometry in the humming of the strings. There is music in the spacing of the spheres. As long as man continues to be the ruthless destroyer of lower living beings, he will never know health or peace. For as long as men massacre animals, they will kill each other. Indeed, he who sows the seed of murder and pain cannot reap joy and love. If there be light, then there is darkness. If cold, heat. If height, depth. If solid, fluid. If hard, soft. If rough, smooth. If calm, tempest. If prosperity, adversity. If life, death. No one is free who has not obtained the empire of himself. No man is free who cannot command himself. In anger we should refrain both from speech and action. Rest satisfied with doing well, and leave others to talk of you as they please. The oldest, shortest words, yes and no, are those which require the most thought. No man is free who cannot control himself. A man is never as big as when he is on his knees to help a child. Silence is better than unmeaning words. Choose rather to be strong of soul than strong of body. Above all things, respect yourself. Let no one persuade you, by word or deed, to do or say whatever is not best for you. Above the cloud with its shadow is the star with its light. Reason is immortal, all else mortal. Most men and women, by birth or nature, lack the means to advance in wealth or power, but all have the ability to advance in knowledge. Number rules the universe. Declining from the public ways, walk in unfrequented paths. Salt is born of the purest parents, the sun and the sea. Choose always the way that seems the best, however rough it may be. Custom will soon render it easy and agreeable. It is only necessary to make war with 5 things: with the maladies of the body, the ignorances of the mind, with the passions of the body, with the seditions of the city, and the discords of families. As soon as laws are necessary for men, they are no longer fit for freedom. Anger begins in folly and ends in repentance. We ought so to behave to one another as to avoid making enemies of our friends, and at the same time to make friends of our enemies. Friends share all things. Friends are as companions on a journey, who ought to aid each other to persevere in the road to a happier life. Practice justice in word and deed, and do not get in the habit of acting thoughtlessly about anything. A blow from your friend is better than a kiss from your enemy. You should make great things, not promising great things. It is difficult to walk at one and the same time many paths of life. Thought is an idea in transit, which when once released never can be lured back, nor the spoken word recalled, nor ever can the overt act be erased. There is geometry in the humming of the string. Power is the near neighbor of necessity. He lived far from the gods, but in his mind he was at home with them. As soon as you awake, in order lay the actions to be done the coming day. Ability and necessity dwell near each other. Concern should drive us into action and not into a depression. No man is free who cannot control himself. Meaningful silence is better than meaningless words. Do not take roads traveled by the public. No man should quit his post but at the command of his general, that is, of God himself. Every triangle is a love triangle if you love triangles. Learn silence. With the quiet serenity of a meditative mind, listen, absorb, transcribe, and transform. A fool is known by his speech, and a wise man by silence. There is a good principle which created order, light, and man, and an evil principle which created chaos, darkness, and woman. Don't judge your greatness by your shadow at sunset. Never trust a friend who speaks bad of his comrades. Be a good son, just brother, spouse tender, and good father. Don't try to cover your mistakes with false words. Rather correct your mistakes with examination. Sobriety is the strength of the soul, for it preserves its reason unclouded by passion. The great science of living happily is to live only in the present. Legislation should be the voice of reason, and the judge should be the voice of the law. Do not chase after happiness, it is always in you. Wisdom thoroughly learned will never be forgotten. Even as truth does error have its lovers. If you can become an eagle, do not strive to become the first among the jackdaws.